introducing me to other greats like Zig Ziglar, Earl Nightingale, Dr. Maxwell Maltz, Og Mandino, Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, Dick Gardner, and many others willing to share their successes. Time passed, and our relationship matured. I shared with Tom Murphy my desires of becoming a professional singer, and how I thought selling could get me there if I could ever get the hang of it. At first, Murph laughed when I told him how much I thought salespeople were like those investigators I saw on television. I also told him because of my opera training, I was able to pretend. I was able to become the investigative salesperson. The more we talked, the more we kicked around the idea that there were a lot of common practices between great investigators and great salespeople. More lunches, more workouts, more meetings of shared ideas, and Tom Murphy and I began to envision this whole investigative selling process. Tom encouraged me to develop the investigative comparison, and soon I knew that was the key to success, and my increased sales performance was evidence of that fact. Murph was actually the consummate investigative salesperson, and he helped me to identify and develop the principles of investigative selling. That not only made me a top salesperson in the sports medicine, health, and fitness industry, but also moved me into the arena of international speaking. Both Tom and I have certainly seen the overwhelming positive results of utilizing and teaching the principles of investigative selling. I'm more convinced that you can experience those same positive results as well. As our friendship grew and my skills as an investigator improved, so did my sales performance. I went from a $147 a month salesperson to the top salesperson in my industry, but I didn't stop there. Next, I moved up to the position of general manager of 18 health clubs, still practicing the same proven principles with my salespeople that had consistently worked for me. That's right, I trained the salespeople in our health facilities to use the principles of investigative selling, and soon decided to purchase a health club and sports medicine facility of my own. You see, I not only discovered how taking on the character of an investigator could help my sales performance, but I also found all those skills could be duplicated. Other salespeople could find the same success by practicing the investigative selling techniques and principles. Salespeople who worked for me began to enjoy increased sales as well by teaching them to stay in character, to ask questions, and gather information. They were prospering right along with my health clubs. The first club I owned was approximately 7,800 square feet and had a membership of well over 10,000 people. Within 6 months, my investigative selling principles increased our sales volume by 400%. And I was on my way to owning 9 of the most successful health clubs and sports medicine facilities in the United States. It soon became apparent to me that my clubs weren't experiencing the large employee turnover rates of the other clubs. Why? My salespeople weren't on that burnout roller coaster ride of sales, loving it on the way up and hating it on the way down. Instead, they were learning. The more they learned, the more their incomes grew. By developing investigative skills, their success was no longer dependent on market trends or a fluctuating economy. They no longer experienced the peaks and valleys of the industry. By being investigators, we were all experiencing consistently increased sales volume and developing long-lasting relationships with our customers. Within the first year, we attracted some salespeople in the business who wanted to join our team of winners. The more my investigative selling principles evolved, and the more I shared with them with my sales force, the more everybody benefited. My inner question continued: if I could teach my own salespeople how to become that successful, why couldn't any salesperson in any field benefit from the same knowledge? That became my priority, to discover whether the principles of investigative selling could be duplicated in other areas of sales. In 1988, I sold my health clubs and sports medicine facilities and began my dream of teaching and mentoring others to achieve their dreams. I can honestly say it hasn't been for the money, but rather for the personal rewards of seeing and hearing about the countless successes of sincere students who have attended the seminars I have taught throughout the world in English and in Spanish. It all started and continues because I am able to stay in the character of the investigator, asking questions of all those I meet. Salespeople who left my seminars began to feel as I did, that there was nothing better than a career in sales when owners saw the difference in their salespeople turned investigators.